Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our BBB Skill Builders series on dispute resolution, basically handling a customer complaint. My name is Jared Wise. I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Business Development with your Better Business Bureau, BBB of Golden Gate. And then we also have Rebecca Harpster with us.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, I am the Communications Supervisor here at the BBB. And if you've listened to our past webinars, you may recognize my voice.
And it's a great voice. I will say that. So good job.
Voice based for radio.
So here we go. So we're going to start with dispute resolution. If you have any questions about this, we're going to basically walk through our process here at Better Business Bureau, but also tell you kind of give you some tips on how you can handle a customer dispute with your business, between your business and the consumer. And we'll give you some resources available for that and talk about our scam tracker a little bit, and then go from there. And if you have any questions, use the right-hand bar and feel free to type in a question, and we'll answer those questions at the end of our presentation, which shouldn't be very long today. This should probably last about 20, 25 minutes because we know you all are very busy. So we'll get started. So first of all, let's start off with Rebecca. She's going to give you a little brief overview of dispute resolution.
Yes, so I'm sure that most of you are familiar with generally what dispute resolutions are. So you probably, at some point you may have gotten had a complaint from a customer or received criticism from a customer, and possibly you've even had a complaint filed with BBB from a customer about your business. So first we're going to talk about more specifically BBB dispute resolutions, and then later on we'll talk a little bit more about general how to handle consumer complaints and like consumer criticism on social media from your customers. So first off, a little bit about BBB. So this usually begins when a consumer files a complaint with BBB, and they can do that through filling out a form or either mailing it in or also doing it online. And we'll show you later what the online complaint portal looks like, because you all are also not only business owners but also consumers, and you might at some point need to file a complaint as well. So we'll definitely show you how to do that and see what it looks like when a consumer goes through that. So the most common dispute resolution service that BBB provides is our basic dispute resolution service. So in this service, BBB, we collect factual information from both parties, and we work to encourage open communication. So what's really important here is that BBB is like a neutral third party. So we aren't on the consumer side, we aren't on the business side. We're really working to establish communication and to help the business and the consumer work things out through communication on their own. So we aren't on either person's side. And this is the most common resolution approach, and it's free for both parties. Any business can respond to complaints. You don't have to be an accredited business, and it's free for everyone. So that's a really great service. And in some cases, complaints will escalate to an arbitration. So in an arbitration process, a third-party arbitrator will actually be called in to review the case, and they will render a legally binding decision. So a lot of times this happens with our auto line program, which deals with car manufacturers.
Awesome.
So we just talked about dispute resolution and arbitration services. So again, dispute resolution services, these are free to consumers and businesses. And in order to file one of these, it has to be concerning a marketplace interaction. It's within our guidelines. And we'll talk about those guidelines just in a minute. So there are some things that we don't accept complaints about. Customer reviews. A customer review is a different thing than a complaint. So a customer can submit a review towards a business as long as, again, it's a marketplace interaction. Businesses can also submit a review against other businesses, but not against consumers. And what's so great about customer reviews is that this is a really great opportunity for your business to really receive positive comments and accolades for all the great work you do from your customers. So you can even, have a link in your emails saying, file a customer review on your BB business profile. You can really encourage customers to file these reviews, and that will show up on your business profile and look really favorably for your business. And people looking at your business on bbb.org can read those customer reviews, which always looks good.
And we also have some marketing materials, including like window clings that's available from your account manager that we can send you that you could put on your windows or on your storefronts next to the BBB seal that you have also. So you can encourage customers to file that positive customer review also when you have that good experience.
Yes, because you guys, you know, have so many great interactions with your customers and you really want to show those off. So arbitration services, again, this is a legally binding service and there is a small fee for this service, unlike just a normal complaint dispute resolution. And the fee is paid evenly, 50% from the business and 50% from the consumer. And our last service is our BBB scam tracker system. So our scam tracker is a really cool online heat map of all of the scams reported in North America. And so far there have been over 100,000 scams reported, which is really amazing. So we have a lot of information on all sorts of different types of scams, what's most risky to, you know, to different people. So if you're ever wondering if something is a scam, you can go on there, you can search by keyword, you can search by zip code to see what's been reported near you. There's a lot of really cool features on Scam Tracker, and we will show you a little bit more about that later on as well. So going back to what we don't accept. So we don't accept all complaints, and we have a few guidelines for the types of complaints that we don't accept. So number one, employee-employer disputes. So someone can't file a complaint against their employer for something related to their employment. If it does not contain a marketplace interaction, we cannot accept that as well. We can't accept complaints regarding theft, harassment, or assault. We don't accept complaints against government agencies. We don't accept complaints that involve collections, so if you owe funds. We don't accept complaints about discrimination, and we don't accept medical malpractice complaints. And a lot of this is like stuff that would be related to like legal field. So some of this stuff is just going to be a legal matter, and we aren't an enforcement agency, we aren't a legal entity, so we don't accept a lot of that sort of stuff.
But if you are for a doctor's office, for instance, if it was involving maybe like a bill or something with like a monetary transaction, that's something where we probably would take, as opposed to, yeah, and we have to hear with us as well, who's our dispute resolution manager. So, so she's here for backup for us today. But also, you know, for instance, if you went in for a treatment and, you know, the surgery went, you know, in the wrong direction, that would not be a complaint, but the billing side would be. So there is a distinction between that.
That's absolutely correct. And just to chime in on that a bit, also when we get these kind of cases that we do not accept, what we'll do is we'll actually refer the consumers to the right regulatory board that can help them with that, just to give them somewhere to kind of go and get the clarity that they need.
Perfect. Yeah, and they're very good. TIERS seems very good about referring businesses or customers to the right agency if we're not able to handle it.
Exactly.
Excellent.
And going off of that, actually, so we are a referral regulatory agency. Yes. So just as Tahir mentioned, you know, we are here to help consumers. So if there's something that we can't handle, we refer it to, for example, like the California Medical Board is someplace we can refer to someone if there's a medical issue, or like maybe the Attorney General's office or the FTC to file a complaint there. So we definitely will try to refer people to wherever they can get help if we aren't the ones that can help them. We're also doing research on always doing research on the most current or valid case. One thing to note is that we are not a government agency, we are a nonprofit. And I'm sure all of you businesses on the webinar now are aware of that, but that is a misconception that
right. We get that a lot.
Yeah, we do get that a lot, especially from consumers thinking that we're a government agency, but in reality, we're a nonprofit. And adding on to that a little bit, we aren't an enforcement agency, so we can't legally force anyone to do anything. We can just only, you know, offer recommendations and help facilitate communication. One thing to note is also consumers can't file a complaint and a customer review on the same interaction. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And disputes on valid cases are reported for 3 years. So BBB has a 3-year reporting period. So let's say your business, someone filed a complaint against you 4 years ago, that's no longer going to be on your business profile. 2.5 years ago, it will still be there. So once it hits the 3-year mark, that's when it will no longer be available to the public.
Excellent. Oh, and then I guess it's my turn. What to expect when you submit a complaint. So here's a couple of things from both the business side and also the consumer side, and Tahira will probably be able to back me up if I'm sorry if I'm not doing it exactly correct. But for the business, now if you receive a complaint, we do ask that you review the details immediately if you had a marketplace interaction with the consumer. We request that the business reply back within 10 days to inform BBB and the consumer that you are willing to review their concerns. If it is not reviewed within 10 days, your BBB will send out a final courtesy notice that will give you an additional 5 to 7 days to submit a response before reporting on the case. So we do give some time, but you do have to respond in a timely manner as well, because we want to keep that conversation going.
Yes, that is correct. We definitely want to encourage open dialogue between the consumer and business at all times. But we also understand that life is always happening. So if there's something going on, we ask that you just reach out, and perhaps we can put the matter on hold for a while to give you an opportunity to take a closer look and go ahead and reach out to your consumers.
Good point. And on the consumer side, the consumer will receive the acknowledgement or regret notice within about 2 business days. If the consumer receives a regret letter and your BBB cannot process that complaint for a variety of reasons, we will send referrals to who may be able to assist the consumer. So we do help with that. But if you do receive an acknowledgement notice, you will be assigned a BBB representative who will be actually processing your case. So that will be the individual that you work with on Tahira's team.
Right. So a lot of the cases are accepted. For the cases that we do not accept, we make sure to send the business out a notice letting them know that this case is not going to go against the record. We're not reporting on it. It may just be something for them to know about. And if we don't send a notice at all, it's because it just didn't meet our criteria at all, so you never needed to worry about it to begin with.
Good point. Good. And Tahira's team is amazing, by the way. so it's always a pleasure working with Tahira. So how business can handle a dispute successfully. So here are some tips of how you can kind of work with your consumer or your customer if you get an issue that arises. Obviously, it's helpful to remain respectful and professional. This will help the consumer to understand that you are there to help them and not hurt them. Oftentimes complaints are filed as there has been maybe a misunderstanding. So use your complaint as an opportunity to explain your position. So that's just a good example. And one of those examples is if a consumer maybe goes into a clothing store to purchase a sweater and realizes there is a rip after arriving home. I think I've done that a few times, and I might have actually ripped the sweater on the way home. Well, when the consumer calls to complain, you can take these steps to actually rectify the situation. If you do not need to solve a dispute with a customer that has reached out to you directly, think back to these steps and have the same approach when handling a complaint internally for your business. So look at it as an opportunity not to, you're going to get frustrated. I think it's just natural for a human to be like, oh gosh, they're complaining against me. I mean, how frustrating, even if it is a bad thing or maybe a misunderstanding, you're naturally frustrated. So it's kind of, you just have to take time, think about it a little bit, and make sure that you give the right response to the consumer and don't lead with your emotions. Because a lot of,
so Jared is right on point there. If you are ever unsure of how to respond to a complaint, call us. You're assigned a dispute representative. We're happy to help. Okay, give us a call and say, hey, I just got this notice. I'm not sure how to respond, and we're happy to provide guidance.
And that's good. And they do. I mean, and even if it's not revolving around maybe a BBB complaint, Tahira's team would have information to help with, handling that complaint directly with your consumer.
If you even, because we get calls a lot of times from accredited businesses as well as non-accredited businesses, and they want to know, hey, I have this problem going on and they haven't came to you all yet, but what can I do to take care of it? And we'll give them guidance. Well, why don't you try this first? And the same steps that Jared just read off to you all, that's exactly what we encourage them to do first. To just go ahead and remain open and transparent. communicate with the consumer directly if you can, and try to figure out the best way to take care of it before it escalates.
And the big thing I see on this is the word listen. So a lot of us don't listen a lot. A lot of us want to like lead with like just talking and just being like, okay, you want to jump in the middle of their complaint or their issue and try to say, okay, wait a minute, let them air their grievances, let them talk about it first, because you want to get the full picture. So really listen to their concerns so that way you can respond accordingly, whether you respond the right way then, or maybe you just say, you know what, let me get back to you and let me research this a little bit and then get back to you.
That's absolutely correct. And just try to remember that, you know, perception is reality for most people. So they could have perceived something to be one way, although that's not the way that you saw it.
Yeah.
So it's real important to just kind of give them a chance to express themselves.
Yeah, good point. Businesses, okay, so let's say the business is not at fault. Let's say, you know, it wasn't me for sure. How do I handle this? Well, clear communication is key on this. You want to explain, obviously, your terms and conditions and your position as well, and provide this information also to your BBB representative for clarity as well. So you want to give, you know, to Tahira's team and the dispute resolution team, you know, the full information, all the details you can, so that way they can make the proper assessment. So that's important. So if a complaint is not your fault, kindly thank the consumer for informing you. Like I said, explain the terms and conditions, and be sure to provide this information again to the representative. So, you know, clear communication is key on this. So let's talk about scam tracker. So if you think that you've actually been scammed, and it does happen, you know, file it on Scam Tracker. File a Scam Tracker report. As you can see, there's about 100,000 plus scams on our Scam Tracker, and you can suggest that, and Rebecca can jump in, and Tahira can try to jump in a little more about the details about Scam Tracker. But you have scam types, so it could be on IRS, or it could be on lottery, it could be on a variety of things too.
And when you file a scam report, it'll ask you a few questions about yourself. And one of the questions is whether or not you're a business. So if there's a scam up against your business, you know, even more so than you as a consumer, like for example, a fake invoice your business got, or like a fake collection agency call that your business received, make sure to mark that you're a business victim, and that really helps us understand what scams are happening against businesses and helps us educate the business community as a whole.
And to add to that, if you are a business who has been scammed or think you have been scammed, when you inform us, we can actually take a look and even add wording to your report to let other potential consumers or fellow businessmen or women know that you've been scammed. Yeah. And this is not your business doing this.
Yeah, so if a scammer is calling people pretending to be your business,
right, then,
you know, let us know and we can put that on your business profile.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's important. And here's that feature, the report a scam feature in the upper right hand corner. It's big red, so you can't really miss it. And just for the consumer or even in the business, if you're filing a scam report, include as much details as possible. So you can upload even pictures if you have it, or any documents as well. So use this feature. Scam Tracker is fantastic, and we've pulled a lot of great data from it as well. So you know it's a public feature and it's fantastic. So please take consideration for using it. I pulled this up also because we wanted to show you some tips, some additional resources for helping kind of what we're talking about with handling maybe a customer complaint. Maybe it's getting really difficult, and maybe it's like they're yelling at you. It's like, what do I do? You know, obviously, like I said, like don't lead with emotions. Listening is key. But here's some tips from the Small Business Association Administration, U.S. Small Business Administration. I'm trying to get it right. that Rebecca pulled up. And it's sba.gov, and I think you can just do a simple search to find this exact one, right?
Yeah, you can just Google it, or whatever your preferred search engine is.
But on SBA's website, there's some tips for dealing with criticism actually for your business on social media, which is a big one. So, and these tips actually go in line with how you can even handle just a direct consumer response too. So what did we talk about earlier? Listening. So the number one thing on here is get listening. So listening is key for anything. Check your social media pages regularly. There's tips on how you should respond. You don't want to let negative comments linger. Once this goes, like, once again, even if it's just a verbal conversation you're having with someone, you don't want everything to linger. You want to try to get to the heart of it as quick as possible. Always acknowledge it and never deny it. Don't ever say, you know, it's like, oh, that's not us, that's not me, or whatever. You want to get the factual information from the consumer and, you know, from your employees too, because you might not know the full situation. So make sure you understand it first. It also gives you tips on how to apologize properly. I would encourage reading through this because it's different situations on how you would handle that. And you want to take the conversation offline. This includes in public. Obviously, if you're having a public dispute with someone, you don't want your other customers, you don't want your other employees having to hear that. So try your best to try to take it into private, or say, you know what, let me get back to you on this. Give me all your information, or email me, or, you know, send me all the details so that I can further investigate it. Because the biggest thing you can do is, you know, hurt your own reputation by having all the grievances being displayed in front of all your customers, because they're listening to that and then they're like, oh, is that how that person thinks? I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't do any shopping here anymore, or whatever. You don't want that negativity rolling around. So take it offline, even not just social media, but offline from your actual workplace as much as possible. And the bottom line is, when your business reputation is on the line, demonstrating your commitment to customer satisfaction and backing it up with action. So that's a big key as well. So take these tips at heart. And then if you need the official link, just send us an email. You'll get an email a little later thanking you for participating. So send us an email if you would like Rebecca to send you a link to this as well.
And
go ahead. Sorry.
Just say one thing is that it is really important to understand how to deal with things on social media, because especially in this day and age, social media is like a lot of times where your customer is the first place that they're going to go. So they might not even call you, they might not even email you, maybe they'll tweet at you, or they'll comment on one of your Facebook posts. So it's really important to be on top of that, and especially because it's so public. So if, you know, someone is going to email you with a complaint, no one else can see that. But if someone posts on your public social media pages airing a grievance, that's something that all of the other people looking at your social media page will be able to see. So it is really important that you are aware of the customer service aspect of social media, and that you're, you know, attentive and you're checking that frequently.
Good. And then another thing on your screen you're going to see right now is BBB.org. So if you just type in BBB.org, and I'm sure you all have been to our website daily, every day. So on the lower side, you'll see that big button that says file a complaint. This is where consumers can go to file a complaint or leave a review, leave a customer review as well. So clicking this will take you into a portal that will go eventually to Tahira's team to take it on from there and start that process that we showed a little bit earlier. So again, you know, you would start a complaint here, and then it would give you, I believe, 6 or 7 steps that you would go, 6 steps to go through in order to review and submit your complaint, and then it goes to their team, and there we go. So now we'd like to open it up to some questions, and it looks like we have a couple that came through. Let me make sure I'm good on this sheet right here. So first question, and there's our social media channels as well, talking about social media. So this is one that Tahira might be able to answer a little bit better, but please define a marketplace interaction.
Okay, so a marketplace interaction is where goods or services were exchanged. So just plainly put, you know, anytime goods or services are exchanged, this could be at a gas station. You went to purchase gas, that's a server, you know, that's goods, okay? A grocery store, you went to buy a car, all those things are marketplace interactions.
Yeah, and that is different. Customer review is more like an experience.
Exactly, and because you said that, I'll just bridge on that a little bit for clarity. Okay, the difference is with the complaint, if someone filed a complaint, it means that they want something back. Okay, they say, I want something. That's what a complaint is. But the difference is with the customer review, as Jared just said, is just reporting their experience. They're saying, I didn't like this, or I love this. Okay, but they're just basically saying how they felt about it. Okay.
Yeah, and that's why it's a good idea. Like, if you don't have those marketing materials, like for the customer reviews, just like stickers that you could put on your windows, like I said, reach out to your account manager and we can get that to you so you can encourage customers, especially with the good experiences that come in, to post a good positive customer review.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also in the PowerPoint that you guys just saw, we showed that a consumer cannot file a complaint and a customer review. Of course, this is for your benefit. There's no point of getting the notice twice, so to speak. Okay. If you file a complaint, we let that go through, and you can't come back later and then file a review as well. One or the other.
Perfect. And then on the another question that we have is dealing with how you interact with other agencies. So another question we have is, how do you interact with other agencies like the CFD, CFPB, Consumer Fraud Protection Bureau? I think that's what that is, and then FDCPA.
Okay, I'm not
Federal. I'm not sure. I'll have to look up the acronym. I have to look that one up. But yeah,
come to the top of your head. But what we do with them is we usually deal with them in regards to complaint-related and scam-related activity or concerns that we receive. So we would use them as different agencies as referral agencies. Okay, so if a complaint comes in and is specific to a certain industry, and we have exhausted all of our resources with resolution efforts and we haven't been able to help, at that time we will refer the consumer to that agency.
Perfect. And it looks like we're going back to that question about marketplace interaction real quick. So it doesn't matter. So the question is, so it doesn't matter if it is online, in person, or via the phone?
No. No, it doesn't matter. And here's a good example of that. If someone was to call to book a service, okay, that's a marketplace interaction because they're calling with the intent to do business. Okay, so that would be considered a marketplace interaction. If somebody, let's say, if they were online and they've seen an advertisement for something, so they wanted to purchase it, so they reach out to the other party online, well, they're attempting to have a marketplace interaction to purchase goods or services.
Good point. Awesome. And if there are any more questions, thanks, Tahira. I think I got a thanks back. Thank you all. If there are any more questions, feel free to, we're about to wrap up, so feel free to throw in those last minute questions at the bottom. Again, as you see, is our social media channel, so make sure to follow us, comment and like us, and if we have a dispute that shows up, then we'll push it to the right agency, or we will work with our dispute. And we do receive some complaints like through our messenger, people that have some issues, and we make sure to work with Tahira's team to make sure that complaint's, handled in the right manner. So whether we're saying you need to file a formal complaint here, which is what we usually do, or we refer to Tahira's team to reach back out. But feel free to engage with us on social media also. Be nice to us though. Be nice, yeah. And then there's some contact information for myself and Rebecca. So if you have any questions, of course, if it's for Tahira too, we'll make sure to relay that as well. But there's our emails, our harpster@bbemail.org, and then jwise@bbemail.org. Feel free to email either one of us if you have any questions, and we'll make sure to get you to the right person to get that the right thing answered. So looks like we're wrapping up today. A little bit longer than I thought. It's 28 minutes, so I was hoping for shooting for 20-25. So anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us, and we can we'll get it taken care of.
And we will also be putting the recording of this on our YouTube channel. So if you ever want to check it out later, you can do that.
And it is on our YouTube channel right now, along with several other webinars. And I'm sorry, I don't have it pulled up right now. But we go there because we have some on organizing your online calendar, managing your day. So there's several webinars on there right now. And make sure to attend our Shred Day, which is on April 21st in the city of Concord, at Concord City Hall. So if you have any it's free. So if you need documents that you need shred, we do that on site. So that's going to be at the City of Concord City Hall and the City of Concord on April 21st, which is Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we'll have a shred truck there. It's always a good time. So we'll bring the party favors and all that stuff, which is usually going to be flyers, so of information, which is exciting. I know. And then and like I said, free document shredding. So anyway, hope you all have a fantastic day. Oh, and Torch Awards. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot about Torch Awards. So if you are which most of you on this line are accredited business, so our Torch Awards are coming up next Friday at 5 p.m. and I'm going to try to pull it up real quick, is the last time that you can enter Torch Awards. So if you haven't already, make sure to go to go.bbb.org/sf-torch awards. Oh my goodness. Is it Monday? It feels like a Monday. There we go. So it's go.bbb.org/sf-torch awards, and we can send this link as well. But the deadline is April 6th. It's free to enter. If your business wins, we come to an in-person office visit for your entire team. You get an awesome statuette. You get promoted on all our social media channels in a press release. And you get to have lifetime use of the seal as long as you're eligible, which is amazing. So if you haven't already, make sure to talk to your account manager. Make sure to get your entries in by Friday, April 6th. And the entry form is right here. Everything's done online and it's free. So there's no reason not to enter. So make sure to go here, put all your information, and you're good to rock. It does take a little bit of time, but the rewards are much more beneficial than the time it takes to put into it. So I highly encourage anybody to participate. We have a winner's circle down here that shows you everything that you get and the fabulous winners from last year as well. So the Cash Drop Group, Wedge Roofing, and escrow.com, and we have a cool little video here of our actual presentation. So great publicity for your company. So make sure to enter, and good luck on winning. So anyway, so we're going to end with that. Torch Awards, make sure to enter. It's free to enter. April 6th, Friday, 5 p.m. Good luck. All right. Fantastic, y'all. Have a fantastic day and a fantastic rest of the week, y'all. And if you need anything else, feel free to reach out to us. Bye, y'all. Have a good day.